Well, here's the next project. 65 Mustang. So I had the window broke out. Still got the trim in it. Looks like it's got a black interior. He had a couple more seats. Front seats are bad. Dash is bad. It's a 4-speed. I'm not sure what's going on with that. The body's not real beat up. It's got some rust issues in it. Somebody painted the bumpers. The door's got some rust in it. Dents everywhere, basically. Somebody spray canned everything, but we started the motor. Motor starts and runs. It's idling like $2,000 or something, but don't have a headliner. Got a lot of work on it. Alright. Got the title and went through, and the number on the door matches. I think these things got another frame sticker on them underneath the fender. But it's basically all here. That's the 80%. These are fake knockoffs. Looks like Anson rims. They may be alright. It's got some kind of exhaust pipes under it. They're not hooked up. It's just roaring away. Sound like open headers. Looks like both of the rear fenders here are rusted on the bottom. This valence been bent. Some surface rust in it. This is Chevy Impala gas lid. But the plates are good. It's registered. It's rough. But it is a 4-speed car. The front windshield's broken too. Yeah, that's bad. I dug on this rust here. It don't go all the way through. It's a lot of work. Seriously, a lot of work. Need the inner grill here and the pony. This stuff's all pricey. I got a guy that has a bunch of used Mustang parts. But it's going to take some money. This bumper don't actually look too bad. It's not bent or anything. Got to be stripped down to nothing. Here, unloaded here. There's a Volkswagen over there that I traded for it. I didn't get that window in. He said he didn't care, so I'll just tape it and get the front window done. And we'll dump this here for right now. On with it here. Got it started. It super high, no idle. Probably about $3,000. The minute you try to let it idle, it dies. It didn't have a vacuum advance hooked up. I put that on, but it starts right up. I don't hear any noise in it. but I think it's a brand new carburetor that's on it, and I think probably what happened, they got a bad gasket or something. It's got a big old air leak in there, so it's not idling at all. I changed the timing and seems to be okay. Anyway, not too bad of a little car. Needs a lot of TLC, but there's really not any real bad rust, and pretty straight. Of course, I don't know until I get the paint on. But he said it run and drove. I'm kind of torn between working on this and finishing up the thing over here. I gotta clean up this window hole here and throw some primer on it. And basically, I can put the window in this one, knock off some of this heavy Bondo, and I'll be done with this thing. Kind of hate to not finish it, but he's putting a lot of time in on this, when the Mustang's going to need time, and I'm going to wind up keeping it. So I'll try to get this window cleaned up here and primed, and then maybe I'll try to see if I can fix that air leak on the carburetor. Is a new carburetor. The gasket's not broke or anything, but you can see there's a lot of kind of corrosion in there, and it really wasn't tight. This one bolt in the back, it's a little hard to get through right here, and it wasn't tight, and I think that's probably what was causing it. I did find a nut down in there. It's a fine thread 7/16, and they had a big coarse thread 1/2 inch one in there, and I think that's what it was. It just wasn't even tightened down. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back on there. I think it'll seal. I don't see any paint or dirt or anything in it, and I'm pretty sure that was the problem. The only thing I've got is silicone. I don't want to use that on there. But I think the main thing, it probably just wasn't tightened down. So I'm gonna put it on there again, and this time make sure it's good and tight. And I'm almost 100% positive that's what's wrong with it. A few pumps, and I also hooked a jumper hot wire into the ballast resistor. So it should fire right up. Obviously, got some exhaust leaks. Give it a few more pumps. I've got the idle and everything set almost as low as it'll go. I'll give that a few cranks and maybe it'll stay running. doing the same thing, more or less. Kind of dying. It's almost the same thing as it was doing a while ago. Well, let's see if we can just this idle in a little. It's definitely got gas. It's pumping. Try it once more. Still got some kind of a vacuum leak or something. I'll see if I can find it. The next step here in the saga, didn't have no keys for this. It's been chewed up, and see, there's a little pin in here. You're supposed to put the key in and push it in, and then you can turn it, and then the bezel comes off, and then it'll come out of the this part here, hooks onto the lock cylinder. You can see how it's got a little hook on it. So it looks like this is still pretty good. It's chewed up. I'll buy another one. But I got the thing out, and I'm gonna hook it up where I can just turn it with a screwdriver, and at least I'll have a key on it, and then I can order a new lock cylinder and whatever else I need in here. But that's how you get them out. If you don't have a key and it's messed up, just drill a little hole in it and then take a big one and hog it out until it comes apart, and then all this bezel and stuff will come loose and you can get it out. It's real easy if you have the key, and not so easy if you don't. Of it, got it where it'll kind of idle and don't die. I advanced the timing a lot, turned in the idle screws to bring the idle down. I think still probably got an air leak, but I got it running, and see there, it leaves a pretty good patch of rubber. And of course, it's just gravel. I don't think it's positive traction. It's kind of early to tell right now, but I think that right side is burning, and I took it up there and hit second and got another patch. So transmission and everything's working good. Shift's all right. Got all 4 gears, and reverse works. I backed it up back and forth here 5 or 6 times. I do have a turn signal turned on too. So there's a little Mustang running and driving. I can move it around now, so I ordered me another ignition lock cylinder, but right now I can turn it on and off with the screwdriver. All in all, not bad. I looked at it quite a bit today. It's got a little rust on both sides, right in the behind the rear wheel. The trunk, all the stuff inside there is good. No rusty. What you can see there, it's rusted out on the bottom, so I have to put on these quarter panels, but it looks like all of the stuff around the tank is good. I don't really see any other dents in it. Might be a few little ones, but basically the car is real straight. Of course, you know, I got Bondo there, no telling what's happening, but I don't think anybody fixed it good because they just put Bondo over the hole in the back. But bumpers are good and straight. Might be a couple little dents in them. There's one dent there, but this would be plenty good for a driver car. You know, somebody can always buy a new bumper and put on it. But wife really likes it, so who knows? But she can't drive a stick shift. We'll teach her how. And she just really likes the car. Thinks it's so cute. Yeah, it is. And that one there, she always thought it was kind of ugly. Well, of course, this is a monster wheel spinner, and that's never going to be much of a race car, but it'll be good enough. It'll be a real pretty little car. It'll all work out good. I didn't get to clean up the front end today. I was trying to get that thing so I can drive it around and move it. So that's where I'm at now. I can drive it and move it. And I'm kind of cleaning up and call it a day, and I'll come back here tomorrow and finish this thing. And there was I went to replace this switch. I drilled it out and stuff, got it to turn on and off, and some of the wires were melted and screwed up, so I put in some new wires here into the switch, and those are all pretty good. I've got a few more to put in here, but I'm going to get all this wiring sorted out good, and then I'll install the switch. It's most of the wires look okay. You know, some are melted, some have been stripped. Somebody's been in there trying to jump stuff and this and that and the other thing, but I'm just sorting out all these wires that I need to get. Looks like I got all my wiper linkage. The defroster vents, they're all trashed, but I can get those for like 20 bucks or something. But that's what I'm trying to do here, is straighten this wiring out and put it in my switch. It's moving along pretty good. Well, I found out yesterday that holding the camera right in front of the wheel don't work out too good. Anyway, I got this new key switch in. I got it wired up right. It's a little bit of a trick. You have to put the spring and the retainer on there, and the outside bezel goes into a notch, and then you have to turn from the way we're looking at it now, counterclockwise. You have to turn the switch counterclockwise. So you squish it into the holes and turn it counterclockwise, and it'll hook. So I got that switch in right now. It's good and solid. Now I'm going to put the key part in. Basically, we have to turn it all the way to the left with a screwdriver. As far as we can get it. And then we take our key and tumbler, and we got to put a paper clip in it, and then just push it in and it'll snap in. I'll see if I can make a video of that. My little video didn't get out. It didn't make it. But you can see there's a little pin right here. You just set the key in it and push the pin. It turns a little bit to the left, and then you're able to move it. So right now, if I wanted to, I could push this pin in here and turn the key switch and take the key switch out. But if you don't have a key, like I said, you're gonna have to drill it or something. But it all looks good. Went right in. So this was kind of a couple-day project here trying to get this done. Lights bad. Probably the camera lens is dirty too. I don't know if that helped any, maybe a little. But there's a key switch in. I wound up with all my wires down here from my oil sending unit and a gas gauge and everything. I got those all right. This is for the wiper. I pulled this old fuse blocks out of here. It's actually, the fuses are good in it, but I ordered another one off eBay. You can see they're kind of rusty and corroded, and it'll probably be all right. But I'm going to put a good fuse block. That one there, it's up under the dash. You can't really get to it, so I'll make it a little easier to get to. But everything at this point should be working. Of course, none of my gauges are going to move at all because they're all on empty. And again, I don't know if I knocked some wires loose or anything putting in this switch. I've got one red wire here. It's also going to black and green. I don't know if you can see that there, but I don't have power to it. And I know that black and green is the regulated instrument lights, or instrument power. It's a little voltage regulator. It goes in there. And also I believe the black and green are the dash indicator lights. Anyway, I can kind of move on this. I've got most of the wires that I have found. These two here are the dome light. I've got the rest of the dash stuff pulled out here, just hanging here. And the steering wheel's right in the way. I just got it hanging here. I'll figure out where it goes when I put it back in. So I have to sort my left turn signal, right turn signal, and all of that out. And I can probably kind of put my dash panel back. I've got a big heavy wire here. I'm pretty sure that's the dome light and stuff that goes across. But I can get it up out of the way here. I got plenty of room for my wires there on the ignition switch. And I don't know what this is, black and green. I think that's another one of the instrument powers. Anyway, so main thing is I wanted to get this key switch in and kind of get it hooked up. And now I've got the dash sort of hanging here, and I can kind of put it back up in there. I still have to get my turn signal switch and stuff, but for now I could just kind of hang it up in there and at least try to trace down some of my dash lights and see what works and what don't work. So press on. Well, I got it running. Turned out the manifold was broke. Won't idle at all, just dies right away. But it turned out that the manifold was broke right in two. If I can get the camera down in there, but I just welded it back together what I could, and that was where all the exhaust noise was coming from. So anyway, it looks like it's running pretty smooth. I don't know whether that's a carburetor or the distributor or what, but at least it's not got that big motor's pretty nice. I just have to fool with it some more. I hooked up the tester there. It's not charging, but that's a minor problem. I did find it's got a voltage regulator in it there, and I don't know, might be just a bad voltage regulator, might be just dirty wires, but I'm starting to get it together. Got some lights working, and all the dash stuff is straight now. All you gotta do is finish it up. Mustang carburetor here, trying to get the thing to run, won't idle. This gasket that goes onto the base plate is not all that good, and I think it might be leaking air somewhere. This is for the PVC valve, this area right here. So I think maybe this is not sealing to the manifold good, and manifold's pretty wet, a lot of gas been going on to it. So I have a feeling that my vacuum leak is right here. So I'm gonna clean this up real good and glue it on. I don't really care about that gasket or anything because I'm going to put a 4-barrel on it. I'm just trying to get it where I can move it around here and get this Harley back by the welder and cut the bars. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to clean this up real good, glue it on, and looks like the gas that goes to the carburetor is all right, but I'm pretty sure this bottom one on the manifold's what's leaking. I'm going to pull these main jets out of here and see if they're plugged up. Somehow this thing is not really getting gas, and I'll pull the low speed jets out and blow everything out of there. It might just have something in it, I don't know. I'll see what I can find. Well, my carburetor cleaning job worked good enough to where I could kind of get it to idle. But this distributor, put a timing light on it, it's just walking all over the place. And I'd already ordered one of these big cat distributors and wires. So I've got it in there. I think the top dead center's right here. I've got it down there on pretty close to the top dead center marked on the thing. It's probably like 12 before, and it's pointed in that area, so it's roughly timed. I'll just start from here with number 1. It's an awfully big distributor. I'm going to have to play around with fuel lines and some other stuff to get that thing in. I can sort of move it this way. I can get it over here where this one is number 1, but I'm out of advance on this side, hitting something. And this one, if I make it number 1, I still got no real clearance here. So here I can get my hose on it, and I can get my wires in, and the advance is sticking forward. So I'm going to go for that setting right there for now. We'll see what happens here. I'll just try to put the wires on and see if I can get it started. Well, there's Mr. Distributor in. It was pretty easy, actually. I had to put a 90 in it to clear the wires there for the fuel, and I happened to have something. It was off an oil sender, but I think it's all straight, and I got the wire starting here with number 1 where it was pointing at before. So either it'll start and run, or it won't start at all. And if it is, I might have got a 180 degree out. I don't think so. But if it, we'll see. Just try to start it, see what happens. Camera's setting up here out of the way, so we'll find out how close I was. Jumping it and stuff, I knocked off my wire off of my solenoid. Put that back. Put it right up. Better, but I think I've got basically the same problem. Let's see if I can get it fired up here and stay running. I'll just advance this a little and get my jack just up here to number 1. Let's see how close I am. center. Of course, it's got the vacuum vent still hooked up on it. Pull that vacuum vents off. See if I can get any better. Set at about 30 degrees advanced, which I think is about right. I don't know if my vacuum advance is working. It apparently isn't. I unplug it and plug it, nothing happens. It's probably idling too high to have any vacuum. It's either a really radical cam or something. It sounds a lot better with that new distributor, but I think it's good enough to roll back and forth and drive and stuff. So as far as I'm concerned, that's a done deal. There's a kind of a trick getting that distributor in there, but it did go in, and I know it's timed right. Just it still got leak. he said, I talked to him again, he said that that's the reason they put the new carburetor on it, was to try to stop a high idle. But it ran okay, just had a high idle. So they put a new carburetor on it, and it really never run again. So part of it, I think, was that vacuum leak there on the bottom that I siliconed up. Part of it's the cam. That cam might be way too big for whatever we got here, because it's a pretty rumpy cam. I'll fire it up here and see if we can give you a listen to it. But it's starting up good. Here it's a pretty good sized cam in there. Of course it's doing whatever it's doing, running out of gas, but we'll see.